Hi everyone, and welcome to your weekly woo. We pulled otter. That's so cute, right? I think this is one of my very favorite animals. And wood Bettany. Now I'm going to start with wood Bettany. This plant was known in the Middle Ages as a cure-all, and the power it had to ward off negativity was very specific, because this even went into being able to ward off bad dreams and also like negative extraterrestrial contact, which is fascinating, right? But its key and central theme is grounding. It grows close to the ground. And when we think of grounding, it is so important to align our energies with the planet and her magnetic field, and to allow that magnetic field to work with ours, to heal ours, to soothe ours. And so the easiest, cheapest way we do that is by walking barefoot on the earth or sand. And a very quick visualization that you can do at any time is to imagine that you have a cord running out of your body down into the center of the planet. And you can imagine that any stress or worry or concern is being flushed out of your system down into the center of Mother Earth. But just walking barefoot alone is going to change your magnetic field in a powerful, productive way. Now, grounding is also important because when we are ungrounded, our energy is like leaking, right? When we're unfocused and like chaotic in the mind, right? It's that monkey mind idea. If we're not grounded, it is almost impossible to try to master our emotions and our thoughts. So this week, explore some different ways of grounding. And when you feel scattered and all over the place, use some of these quick techniques and visualizations, or get barefoot, go for a walk. Now, grounding is also important because you will actually, when you start practicing this, you will be able to maintain your energy, because there is a quality of containing your energy that happens when we ground that is like the exact opposite of when we're ungrounded and scattered and all over the place in our mind. When we are grounding, we are actually able to harness our chi or ki or prana, whatever you like to call it, in a conscious and aware way. And that is going to allow us to have more endurance through the day and definitely better sleep. And because this plant was used to ward off nightmares and, negative entities, this speaks to me and says, yes, this also helps when we're sleeping, that if we ground, that sense of grounding before we go to bed is going to allow our dreams to be helpful and allow our dreams to raise our vibration, right? Your dreams can lower or raise your vibration, and it's important to go to bed and go to sleep with intention, and grounding is a great way to do that. Now, food is another way of grounding. And if you're feeling very scattered, a great thing to do would be have some potatoes or carrots or sweet potatoes. Root vegetables are incredibly grounding to our system. Now, I know some people eat meat, some people don't, but there is a train of thought that eating meat can be quite grounding too. For people who do a lot of spiritual work, that is definitely, I had a teacher who taught me, like, if you're starting to feel spacey, give yourself some dense protein. So if you do eat meat, that could be something that comes up for you this week, that maybe you need to address the protein in your diet. And for all of us, addressing the protein, whether you eat meat or not, there's so many ways to get protein, but the protein is really going to ground, and these root vegetables really ground. Now, when we get otter, First and foremost, it is about being playful, and it is a totem of feminine energy. No matter how you gender identify, we all have a masculine within us and a feminine within us, and multiples of those, actually, depending on how close do you want to get with yourself and your internal world. But one of the things that Otter reminds us is that worry is an addiction. And otters live on the water and play in the water. So there's going to be an element of needing to drink a lot of water this week as you are working on this grounding to gain mental mastery. And it really is coming through with thoughts, that it's going to be about grounding ourselves so that our thoughts can serve our vision of what we want our future to look like. Now, wood Bettany is also a plant that can heal and treat issues with the solar plexus chakra. And this has to do with otter because otter is all about play and using your ability to lighten the situation up to serve you and to serve the people around you. And the solar plexus center, and it's interesting because his little solar plexus is not really facing us, but gosh, how cute is this otter? I love watching otters. So this week, get on YouTube or Google some otters. They're just so cheering. So the solar plexus center, it is like our parallel to the sun, as above, so below. So that's where our internal sun is. And it is the seat of our will and our power. And the right use of our power happens when that solar plexus is healthy and in alignment. Now, this relates directly, right, to our stomach and our digestion. So this idea of gut instinct, listening to your gut, is really about tuning into that solar plexus chakra. But it's also about gut health, and what you put into your stomach, it affects your ability to use that intuition. And this the research that so many health practitioners have found around the gut microbiome, and that the healthier your microbiome, it's like your second brain. And so the healthier you are cognitively. But we're talking about spirituality here, and that is also the case. The healthier your gut, the more your instincts are going to be on track, and the more you're going to be able to listen to that intuition coming up. Now, when otter is in play here, it says that there needs to be a sense of play around your power and your will, and around this desire to take action. And also with otter, it is about being, really inclusive to everyone. This idea of the feminine energy being like a sisterhood, and that everyone is welcome and accepted. And it's great that it's Pride. We're celebrating Pride this weekend because otter is about like everybody gets to be who they are with otter energy. It's like, they play all day. It's like a party for them all day long. And there is an element to lightening up so that you aren't trying to over control situations and control situations in general. It goes back to this solar plexus chakra of will and power and taking action. Now that Mars has gone into Aries, we're all going to be feeling that desire to take action on our goals, on situations that are unresolved. And otter reminds us to do it with a sense of brevity, levity, do it with a sense of effervescence and lightness. That's the word that keeps coming up. And like to not take yourself so seriously. And I know this is a hard message to hear at this point, at this point in 2020. But there really is a message here. Ground yourself and let go and have some fun. And when you are grounded, you are going to be able to make choices from this solar plexus center that are aligned with your values. And now that Venus is direct, we've all been really evaluating, what do I believe? What do I want? How do I value myself? What do I value in my life? What do I want more of? What do I want to let go of? And these cards are really saying, like, ground yourself so that you're taking care of your energetic body. And I'm going to tag that video here because that would be really good to rewatch this week if you haven't already watched it, the energetic body video. And Otter is saying, it's like making every day feel like Friday. That's the energy of Otter. And where there is envy and jealousy, to ground yourself and root that out. You know, if there is something that someone has that you see you want, or you're seeing greatness in someone and that brings up envy, here's a reminder that what you're seeing in them is a reflection of you. And you're wanting what they have because you're capable of doing that and giving that to yourself. And when it comes to like jealousy, because this is sort of the shadow side of our feminine nature, is like the jealousy and envy and being afraid. You know, jealousy is being afraid to lose something that you feel you own, you have. And Otter's saying, you don't own anything. Your job is to maintain your light and your joy no matter what's going on around you. And your job is to share that joy and play with the people in your life. So there's no room to be jealous. Jealousy and envy was definitely something that I have had to work on a lot in my life. And what I learned is that the envy and the jealousy is a root. It's just such a deep disconnection with yourself, because what you're saying when you're envious and jealous is that you don't believe you're capable of making your dreams manifest. And when I look at the cards that I've pulled for the extended, it's all about manifestation right now. And, you know, we're going to have this impetus because Mars is in Aries to push. But use that energy and like work out and work on your body and like work on, you know, building something, or give it an outlet so that it doesn't get too intense and forceful and controlling. Also with this beautiful wood Bettany, this idea of this connection to the earth being a way that we can access our intuition, that seat of our will. And so the more you can acknowledge your connection with the planet when you're outside, when you're on the earth, when you're at the beach or the sand, or it can even just be in your mind's eye, that is going to increase your ability to access your intuition and that gut instinct. And the more that you ground, the more you are going to be able to come into your own center, so that if envy and jealousy and this need to like get ahead comes rushing in, you can ground yourself and choose differently. That's what grounding offers us. It's that full breath, full moment to connect with self and the mother planet, to be able to craft your thoughts with a little more grace and definitely compassion for yourself as we work through these changing times. So definitely look at some otters this week. Watch them play. And think about how can you manifest that energy in your life. So it's a great time to play with children as well, as it's summer. And Otter asks us to embrace the idea of loving all the children as if they are your own, right? And to embrace all of humanity as if they are your sister. So this is also going to activate our feminine nature. As it's interesting because Mars is technically a masculine energy and planet. And because we're going to have so much of it, it is important that we access our feminine nature, the silence within, the intuition as we're speaking about, the creative flow, the trust. It's very difficult to be playful if you aren't trusting yourself that you will handle whatever comes your way, trusting yourself that you can manifest your dreams and goals, and trusting a divine plan that is unfolding. It is easier said than done, but the more we can have trust in this human experience that all will truly be well, that we will be provided for, the more trust we have, the more the universe can work through us, and the faster we can materialize our goals and our dreams. So definitely this idea of trust, we have grounding, we have playfulness, we have including others, sharing your joy, and we have this idea of really working with the solar plexus chakra. And you can even imagine that there's a cord going from your solar plexus chakra into the earth, and you're flushing out any, over-controlling dynamics within you, thoughts of envy and jealousy. You're flushing them down into the center of the earth. She loves to clean us, right? Like the mama cat to the kittens. So does Mother Earth love to take care of us in this way. So use her this week. Allow her to nurture you so that you can have a sense of trust that surpasses all understanding. Thank you so much for viewing. Thank you for your subscriptions. Thank you for your thank you donations. They have been so sweet. And if you were into that extended and you want more, because we got more, please come join me on patreon.com/thegoodwoo and become a patron. We're having live Q&As, and they also have access to some written tips that I'm going to continue to write for them as we navigate these changing times. Thank you all so much.